Not as good as our boy, and probably not as good as our other boy who's on dutasteride, but at least, like, you know, this guy's probably comparable, maybe. I don't know. These guys, but they still have their hair, and they're like similar age brackets. And then this guy, Norwood 7, really early on, aggressive hair loss despite having the same mom's dad. What's up, guys? Derek from PlayStation8.com. Today we are going to be talking about, does hair loss run in the family, and does it come from the same place every single time? So obviously there's some sort of genetic component in terms of your susceptibility to hair loss as a result of AR activation and the cascade of events that occurs thereafter. Does it come from your mom's dad though? This is the thing that is always stated, is look at your mom's dad, and if he's bald, then you're fucked. And that's definitely not the case from what I've seen. I don't know why this myth has pervaded the hair loss community for years, but anybody who's looked into this with any reasonable depth has seen that this is not always the case. And this is an interesting, I've even mentioned, like, I've seen so many cases now, for example, like two brothers where one is totally bald in his 20s and then another has good hair until he's in his like mid 40s, and then he starts to lose it a little bit. But it's like, to have a difference of like 20 years where one's been bald for like 30 years and the other one has like a Norwood 1 to 2 at like 50, it's like, you know, clearly you didn't get it from the same fucking place. You know what I mean? None of them are on hair loss medication either. The one, like I know two brothers where one had a good Norwood 1 until literally almost 60 years old. And he's still hanging on. And he's never used any hair loss medication. The other one's been balding since his 20s and is really bald right now. So this is another example that I thought was good, because this is actually the dutasteride before and after. They get a nuts transformation. I posted this recently, or at least I should have, unless I'm recording these way out of order. But anyways, that guy, he had a nuts before and after where he basically recovered pretty much everything he lost. And he just so happens to have 5 older brothers. And some of them have hair loss, some of them don't. And it's interesting because they all are brothers and all have the same mom's dad. So we can see that it does not necessarily hit everybody the exact same, even though supposedly this gene comes from the same place. So he says, I have 5 older brothers and it's hit or miss. My dad is 75 though, and has a full ass head of hair and actually gets it thinned out at the barber. It's so thick. Lucky bastard. And then I was like, hit or miss as in some of your brothers are fine and some are fucked, question mark. He's like, haha, oh yeah, one of my brothers is bald as bald can be. And that's pretty bald. Same parents. Another 2 of my brothers are fraternal twins. One has pretty progressed male pattern baldness. The other has a perfect hairline and thick hair. Fraternal twins even. And one of them has good hair and one of them doesn't. So I said, you have any group shots I could use for a video if I blur their faces out? And I gave my stance on it. I'm just reading this again for the first time since I made the message. Too many dumbasses think that everyone gets their hair genetics from their mom's dad no matter what. Would be great to have a pic of 6 brothers and some are balding, some aren't. Are any of them on hair loss drugs besides you? So I'm trying to get the context here to make sure I can clearly show you guys without any kind of like fuckery what's going on. He says, the only other one on anything is my brother's. That's a twin that has all of his hair. He has never experienced hair loss, but after I started dutasteride, he started to take it as well, just so he can be proactive. I'll try to find some shots of us together. Those are the twins. And then I'll show you guys the images in a sec. So I said, so these are all brothers, actual brothers in this one picture. The 2 circle are post-finasteride growth for both of you. And that was wrong. He said, that's all of my brothers. The 2 circles are my brothers that are twins. The shorter one on the far right is on dutasteride. I'm on the far left. I said, what are the ages of everyone left to right? And everyone has the same mom and dad. I'm just confirming. Yep, same mom and dad. Left to right, 32, 40, 45, 37, 40, and 42. So here is the image. And the guy on the right, who has the worst hair loss of all of them, literally bald, is not the oldest one. Remember the order of how old they are. So he has 32, which is him, 40, 45, 37, 40, 42. So 40, 45, 40, 42. 40, 45, 40, what the fuck was it? I gotta go back. 40, 45, 40, 42. 40, 45, 40, 42. This is the only one that has balding to the point of needing to shave it off, and he's not the oldest one. And there are other guys here that have better hair than each other, despite them all being, similar age ranges, all with the same mom's dad. And our boy over here has the best hair, obviously, because he is 32 and he's on dutasteride. And, he's just on his fucking shit. So, anyways, 32, 40, 45, 37, 40, 42. Wow, I fucked that up. Okay, hang on. So we go 32, 40, 45. Too many fucking numbers, dude. This is like playing that fucking game of like, what was it? That like, bop it, fucking twist it, pull it. And you have to like remember the fucking thing. Or no, it's like the one with the green, red, yellow, blue or whatever. And you have to like, it plays all the fucking colors. And you have to remember the sequence of events it is and press it all after.
Once again, to compete, you're the one I have to be.
That's like me trying to remember these ages. 32, 40, 45, 37, 40, 42. 32, 40, 45, 37, 40, 42. Okay, so the youngest is here, who's on dutasteride and got all the regrowth. Then we have the second youngest here at 37 years old. This guy's 40. This guy's 40. This guy's 45. This guy's 42. So anyways, and then he said, I was like 42-year-old brother lost his hair early and was forced to shave it, or just shaved because he likes it. And that's the one who's actually bald, because he's not the youngest one. And what age did he go full board bald? And is it cool if I use this picture in a video if I blur everyone's face out? He says, yeah, that's totally fine. He was forced to shave because he is a full Norwood 7. He probably was full board bald by late 70s. I don't know why that's so fun to say, full board. Full board bald, boys. Started losing it in high school around 17. I said, wild, great example, man. Thanks for sending. Yeah, man, absolutely. So again, the one that had, the shorter one on the far right is on dutasteride. I am on the far left. So remember, the shorter one on the far right is on dutasteride. So we have the shortest one here on dutasteride. He has a good head of hair. He is in his 40s as well. Then we have these other guys who aren't on dutasteride or finasteride or fucking anything, and they still have their hair. Not as good as our boy, and probably not as good as our other boy who's on dutasteride, but at least like, this guy's probably comparable, maybe. I don't know. These guys, but they still have their hair, and they're like similar age brackets. And then this guy, Norwood 7, really early on, aggressive hair loss despite having the same mom's dad. So what can we gather from that? We can gather that the mom's dad thing is total horseshit, and you might get your genetics from somewhere else. Like this guy is, his dad has good hair. Maybe some of these guys got it from their dad. You never know. Like I see people with hair too. When you look at your eye color, when you look at your hair color, you obviously get it from somewhere. And it's pretty obvious typically where you get it from if you have two parents with totally different ancestry. And I don't think it always comes from your mom's dad. Otherwise you would not have brothers with totally different patterns of hair loss, or none. Like I said, I have a very apparent, very blatant example I often refer to of the two brothers that are only about 5 years apart, where one was balding in his 20s and one is pushing 60 now and has like a decent like Norwood 1, and he still gels his hair up and doesn't use shit. So at the end of the day, what is the kind of takeaway? It's that you need to be proactive no matter what, because you have no idea where the fuck it's coming from. Unless you have every single person is Ronald Reagan in your family, it's kind of a rolling the dice. And it's, most people just like look around at guys in old age. How many men do you see with Norwood 0, dense Norwood 0s with model hair in their 70s? Very, very few. Very few. Even the guys who are immune to hair loss and they're even upwards of 40 years old, typically you'll start to see diffuse thinning and recession at, 35 plus in the majority of men. And once you get to like 50 plus, it's like, we're all fucking going to the same place, boys. It's just at a different rate, depending on your endogenous androgen production as well as your genetics in terms of AR signaling and whatnot. So at the end of the day, being proactive, I think, is the answer for 99% of us. Maybe for some of you, you're gonna be fine if you don't do shit, but do I wanna roll the dice and do that? Probably not, because once you start to get to the point where you actually visually notice it, at that point you've already lost 20, 30,000 plus hair follicles off your head, and you're kind of playing catch up at that point. So don't get to the point where you have to play catch up, or else you're gonna end up saying shit like I say, where it's like fucking trying to preach, be proactive about it, or you're gonna end up having to do what I did and be very aggressive about your recovery process, potentially. Or you might just be like our boy who just regained fucking everything by popping dutasteride. So anyways, take from that what you will. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you have any examples of blatantly different genetic inheritance. Is that even the word? Getting different genetics from the same mom's dad. Do you have examples of brothers in your family or that you've seen before that have totally different, hair loss aggression despite having the same mom's dad? What is your experience personally? Anything and everything is going to be insightful in the comments because it helps the community get more anecdotal reports. That helps us form a more informed conclusion with more evidence to support our ideas and whatnot. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like I said, comments help the algorithms, so they're much appreciated. And like I said, they help the community at large, especially because you're not going to find answers to this kind of shit anywhere. So people are often going to scroll down to the comment section to see what other people think about this random obscure topic that you're probably not going to find on other YouTube videos. So give them some insight above and beyond just what I'm saying, and help build up a more stronger reinforced opinion here, and be proactive about your shit, because that is the takeaway at the end of the day, in my opinion. So follow me on Instagram at @moreplates_more_dates, Facebook, Snapchat, BitChute, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. If you want to listen on audio instead of burn through your data on video at the gym or in driving in the car or whatever it is, the audio is great for that because you don't have to kill your battery or your data while you listen to it. And then if you rate it 5 stars too, that helps the algorithm there, presumably. So if you can do that, that'd be much appreciated. And if you want to support the channel, including check out any of my pharma grade hair loss medications that I use myself, you can check those out in the video description below, as well as my TRT clinics, all telemedicine from the comfort of your own home. Don't even need to leave the house to get your prescription. So, and anything else I'm associated with, Gorilla Mind, Gorilla Mode, pre-workout formulas I designed from scratch myself, and anything else I'm associated with, it's all in the video description below. So thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.